Hi friends, welcome to .NET Mob. In this video, I will show you how to create ASP.NET MVC CRUD operations without using Entity Framework. We have already discussed how to create CRUD operations in ASP.NET MVC with using Entity Framework. You can find the link in video description. So let's get started with this video tutorial. This is my Visual Studio 2013. First of all, we have to create ASP.NET MVC application. For that, go to File, then New, then Project. Then select Web under Visual C#, then select ASP.NET Web Application. Then name your application here. I will name it as MVC without Entity Framework. Then select the location where you want to save this application. Then click on OK. Then select MVC. Keep other options as it is. Click on OK. Here we have our brand new ASP.NET MVC application. Before continuing with this project, let me do the DB part. This is my management studio. Let me create a database. For that, right click on databases, then click on new database. Then name your DB here. I will name it as MVC CRUD DB. Click on OK. Here you can see the newly created database MVC CRUD DB. Let me add a table. For that, right click on tables, then click on table. Then enter column details here. First of all, product ID. Data type will be int. Then product name as worker 50. Then price as decimal 18.2, then count as int. Now I want to make this product ID column as primary key. For that, right click on it, then click on set primary key. Then inside column properties, I will set the identity specification as true, so that we don't want to insert values into this column. SQL Server will take care of that. It will start from 1 and incremented by 1 upon new record insertion. In order to save this table, you can use the shortcut Ctrl S or click on this save button here. It will pop up a dialog box like this. Then you can name your table here. I will name it as product. Click on OK. Under tables, you can see the newly created table here. Now back to Visual Studio. First of all, I am going to add a product controller. For that, right click on controllers, then add controller. Then select controller with read or write actions. Click on add. Then name your controller here. I will name it as product controller. Click on add. So here we have product controller with action methods for insert, update, delete, view, etc. Let's start implementing CRUD operations in our application. First of all, we have index action method here. With this action method, I will show you how to list or view all the products in our table. Basically, all MVC action method are HTTP GET request by default, so we can mark it here by using the HTTP GET attribute. Before that, I will declare connection string here, string connection string. Now we want to import the namespaces system.data and then system.data.sql client. Inside the index action, I will declare a data table DTBL product. Then using statement Inside that I will declare SQL connection object SQL con equals new SQL connection. Inside that I will pass the connection string. First of all, we have to open the SQL connection by calling the function open. Then I will declare SQL data adapter here as SQL DA equals new SQL data adapter. Inside that we need to provide the query select star from product. As second parameter we will pass the SQL connection object. After that we will fill the data adapter result into our data table dtbl product by calling the function fill. Then I will pass this data table into our view. Now let's add a view for this index action method. For that, right click inside the action method, then click on add view. Keep the name as it is. We don't need a template in this case. Click on add. First of all, we have to declare our model data type as system.data table, since we are passing data table from our index action method. So here we are going to display product list as HTML table. So first of all, we are starting with table, and I will set classes from bootstrap to this table. First of all, table class, then table border in order to add the border style, and then in order to give alternative gray color for rows I will add table strip class. First of all, I am going to add row for table headers. th first column will be for product name, and let me copy this and pasting below that. Second column will be price and third column will be count. After table headers we will display the data. For that I will use a for loop. Instead of length I will give the table rows count, rows dot count, and we will enclose all the table cells inside a tr element. First column will be for product name, so we can do something like this: at model dot rows, and inside that we will pass the iterator variable. Then first column, second column index. First column is product ID, second column will be the product name. And let me copy this and pasting below that 2 times. Price index will be 2 and count index is 3. These indexes are in the order of column in our table, and we don't want to show the product ID column while we list product. Now in order to run this application, hold Ctrl then press F5. This is how the index view looks like. We have product name, price and count as table header. We don't have any product, so there is no detailed row. Next we are going to add insert or add operation into our project. First of all, let me get rid of this details action method. We don't need this action method in this project. Next we have a create action method which will be of the type http get. Using this action method we will return a form to enter details of new product. Before that, let me add a model class into our model folder. For that, right click on models, then add class, let it be product model, click on add. Inside this product model class, we will add properties respective to our product table columns, that is product ID, product name, price and count. Let me copy this line and pasting below that 3 times. And first of all, we have product ID, then product name, then price and count. So product name will be of the type string, and then price is of the type decimal. That's it. Now back to product controller. Here I am going to pass an object of the class product model, and we need to import the namespace for model. Now in order to add a view for this action method, right click inside the action method, then click on add view, keep the name as it is, and then inside the template drop down select create, then select model class as product model class, then click on add. Using scaffolding mechanism, MVC creates a new view using template and model class. Let me run this application now. For that, hold Ctrl, then press F5. Here we have a small error. We need to add a pair of parentheses here. Let me run this application again. Then navigate to create action of product controller. For that, /product/create. So here we have the form to add new products into our project. I want to make some modifications in this view. First of all, I want to replace this product model with product. We don't want to show this product ID in this view. Then I want to add a space between this product and name. Then in the index view, we need to add a hyperlink for adding new products. Now let's do that. Inside create view, changing product model to product. Now let's get rid of these product ID elements. Then go to product model, add display attribute above the product name property. We need to import the namespace system.componentModel. Inside that we can provide the name that we want to display in the view. So it will be product space name. Now let me add a link to add new products inside index view. For that we can do like this, anchor tag, then href. In MVC you can specify the URLs like this, at url.action. First parameter will be the action name, so in this case create. Then second parameter as controller name, so it will be product. Closing the anchor tag, then anchor text will be add product. Save the project, then build the solution. Reload the page, then you can see the changes. And if you go to list or index view, you can see a link to add new products. If you click on that, you will be navigated to create view. How these HTML elements are created. If you check the create view, there you can see a method editor for. So this method is responsible for displaying or creating HTML elements based on their property type. So here you can see a text box, here also a text box, here you can see a numeric up down. In our view we have product name, it is of the type string, so it will create a text box, and if you check the count, it is of the type integer, so it will create a numeric up down like this. So this begin form method will enclose all of these elements inside a form that you can see. If you check the inspect of this page, there you can see a form and its action URL is create action of product controller. So here we have a create action method, so it is of the type HTTP GET. Other than that, we have a create action of the type HTTP post. While we post a form, it will look for action method of the type HTTP post, so it will invoke this action method. So inside this action method we have to save product details in our product table. So let's look how we can do that. First of all, I'm going to change this action method parameter with a product model. So data sent from the form will be binded to this object product model. Inside this action method we will save the product details and we will redirect to index action. So let me redirect to index action. We can do that like this, redirect to action, then inside that we will pass the action method as index. So here we have to save the product details using SQL connection as SQL con equals new SQL connection. Inside that we will pass our connection string and we will open the SQL connection here by calling the function open, and let me write the query here, string query equals insert into product values add product name, then price, then count. So we don't want to insert values into the product ID column. SQL server will take care of that. Now we need to pass parameter values. For that, SQL cmd dot parameters dot add with value. Inside that, product name, and we'll pass the value from the product model object, product model dot product name. Let me copy this line and paste him below that 2 times. Let me change price to, let me change product name to price, then count. We have price, then count. So let me execute this. For that, you can call the function execute non-query. That's it. Now build the solution. After that, reload the page. Then let me enter some test data. Pen, price somewhere 12, then count 45, click on create. So here you can see it is added into our product table and it is listed in our index view. Next we are going to implement update or edit operation in this project. Let's look how we can do that. In order to implement edit or update operation, we have two action method edit. One is of the type HTTP GET and other is of the type HTTP POST. In case of HTTP GET action method, here we have a parameter ID of the type integer. When user enter a URL /product/edit/5, 5 will be taken as ID, and we have to get details of product with product ID 5, and we will return a form filling all the details of the product back to user. User can update the details accordingly. For that, let me declare a variable of the type product model equals new product model, and then a data table dtbl product equals new data table. Using statement inside that, I will declare a variable of SQL connection as SQL con equals new SQL connection. Inside that, I will pass the connection string, and let me open the connection by calling the function open, and I'm going to declare a SQL data adapter SQL DA equals new SQL data adapter. Inside that, we have to pass the query. For that, let me declare a query here. Query equals select star from product where product ID equals at product ID, and I will pass the query here as first parameter, then SQL connection object SQL con, then I need to pass the parameter value here SQL DA dot select command dot parameters dot add with value add product ID as ID, and then I will fill the result in our data table SQL DA dot fill DTBL product. After that, we will check number of rows is 1 or not. If it is 1, it means there is a row with given ID, else user will be redirected to index action method, return redirected to action index. Inside this if block, we will fill details of product in our product model object, product model dot product ID equals DTBL rows row index, then column index. We will convert that into string, and in this case we have to convert that into integer. We can do that by calling the function convert to int32. Let me copy this line and pasting below that 3 times, and we have to change accordingly. Product name index is 1, and we don't need to convert that into int32, it is of the type string. Then we have price, we have to convert that into decimal, and price column index is 2. Then count and its index will be 3, and we will return this to the view. So far we have not created view for this edit action method. Now let's create the view for this edit action method. For that, right click, then add view, keep the name as it is, then select template as edit, then select product model class, then click on add. Here we have the edit view. Save the project, then build the solution. After that, if you want to edit product pen, you can navigate to URL product/edit/ then ID of the record, it is 1. Click enter. So here you can see the details of product or pen. You can change the details of the product. Then after that, if you click on the save button, it should be updated. In this view, I want to make some changes. Instead of product model, I want to show product, and I don't want this label text box pair for product ID. Instead, I will use a hidden field for product ID. And in the index view, I want to add a column to add hyperlink for edit operation for the corresponding record. Now let's do that. Here I'm going to change product model into product. Then let me get rid of these product ID elements. Instead of that, I will use hidden field html dot hidden for model dot product ID. In index view, I am going to add a new column. Column header will be empty, and the detail column will be like this. We are going to add a hyperlink here. Here we are going to add a hyperlink to edit operation. Anchor tag, anchor text will be edit, and href will be like this at url dot action. First parameter will be the action name itself, so it is edit. Then second parameter is our controller name, it is product. Now we want to pass the ID here, so you can do something like this: ID equals at model dot rows I, column index will be 0. Let me save this and reload the index view. So here you can see the additional column with edit hyperlink. If you click on that, you can see the edit view for the pen product. In this view, you can edit the details of product, and if you click on the save button here, it will post the form into the HTTP post action method edit, where we want to save these updated product details. So let's look how we can do that. Inside the product controller, we have a action method edit of the type HTTP post. So here we are going to use this action method, and its parameter is the product model itself. Product model inside this action method, we have to update the record. After that, we will redirect to index action method. For that, redirected to index action method, and let me copy this code from HTTP post create action method and pasting here, and I'm going to change the query here, update product set product name equals at product name, comma, price equals at price, comma, count equals at count, where product ID equals at product ID. So here we have to pass the ID, product ID, so here we have created a SQL command object and passed query here, and here we have passed the parameter values and we executed the query. After all, we will redirect to index action. Let me build the solution, and let me change pen from pen 1, changing count to 100. Click on save now. Now we are redirected to index action method. Here you can see the product details is updated from pen to pen 1 and count from 45 to 100. Finally, we are going to implement delete operation in this project. So we are going to make use of this action method. Here we need an ID. It is the product ID. So the URL pattern will be like this: product / delete / then product ID. So in this case 5 will be taken as the ID. So inside this we have to delete the product with given product ID. For that, let me copy these lines from the HTTP post edit action method and pasting here. Let me change the query here. It will be like this: delete from product, where product ID is equal to at product ID. Then here we have created an object of SQL command as SQL CMD, and then here we have to pass the value for this at product ID. Let me get rid of other parameters, and product ID can be passed as ID, and then we will execute it. After all, we will be redirected to index action method. For that, you can call the function redirect to action index. In this case, we don't need this post action delete, and I'm going to add a link in the index view. For that, you can add a hyperlink here like this. Its text will be delete, and URL action will be delete. That's it. Let me save the project, then build the solution, reload the page. So here you can see delete hyperlink along with the edit hyperlink. Let me add a new product, book, price will be 45, count will be 25. Click on create. If I click on this delete button, it should be deleted. So here you can see it is deleted now. That's it guys. In this video we have discussed how to create MVC CRUD application without entity framework. So in this project we implemented CRUD operations like create, update, delete and view using ADO.NET. Thanks for watching this video tutorial. Please be subscribed to my channel .NET Mob for more hours of videos like this. Please like and share this video with your friends and colleagues so that they can benefit from this. And don't forget to comment your feedbacks. Have a nice day. Bye.